Hello, good people, and welcome to the Inner Lighthouse. I am none other than Darcel Andre, honey. And y'all better ease on down there to what? Where is it at? The Inner Light Spot, honey, where you can get all of your good old candle, your Serenity candle. We have a new candle that's getting ready to come out, so go ahead and get your candle. You get these matches that come with it, too. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, yeah, so get this incense going. So this is our pick a card video. Whoa. I'm going to try to do these weekly for you all. And it's not going to be anything too specific. Not should I stay with the man. This not this week. Honey, I may do that next week. But for this week, what we're going to do is we're going to focus on three main elements of self, honey. We're going to figure out what does the spirit have for you? What is the message from the spirit? We're going to also check in with yourself, with myself. What is it that you need to know in regards to the work you need to do within yourself, honey? Then we're going to step into your work in the world. What is it that you need to know in regards to your work in the world? And lastly, relationships. So the message from the universe will be the first one. The message for your internal work is the second one. The message for the work in the world you need to do is the third one. And finally, your relationship with other people is the fourth one. All right, so now before you, there are three images presented on this lovely, I don't know what you want to call it, honey, the inner light board. How about that? On the inner light board. I want you to take a deep breath in, breathe out. Good, deep breath in again, breathe out. Third time's the charm, deep breath in and breathe out. Good. I want you to look at the three images and tell me which one of the three that you feel drawn to. Is it the first image? Is it the second image or the third image? You can pause the video, and once you have made your choice and your decision, go ahead, and I have chapters to this video, and you could jump over to the selection that you chose. But we're going to start with the first image. Here we go. Now, as we spoke about and as we talked about, okay, the first thing is what is the message directly needed from spirit. So let me go ahead and tap into myself and say my internal prayer. And I'll say my outward prayer to the spirit, to the angels, to the heavenly hosts, to the Orisha, to Obatala, my head. I ask that you come forth, provide the information necessary for me to help the people so that the people can go forth and help the people. But by first, we know we need to help ourselves. May the message be clear, may it be plain, and allow for me to correctly output what the spirit has input. Ashe, here we go. All right, the message from the universe, that's the very first thing, this first card here. Boom. Beautiful. We have manifest. That's the very first thing. The spirit is coming forth saying, listen, you have not because you ask not, nor have you done the spiritual work to get what it is that you desire. Okay? You can manifest it, y'all. Anything that you are looking for, anything that you desire, that is in alignment with who it is you need to be in your highest good, you can manifest it. And that will come into fruition. But I want you to understand, you are always doing manifesting work. Hear me now. You are always doing manifesting work. So whatever it is that you are manifesting is showing up in your life. So if you don't like what's showing up in your life, you need to check what it is that you're manifesting. How do you manifest, right? You manifest with your tongue, with the words that you say, with the things that you do, with journaling is manifesting. But let me tell you something. Y'all are literally, you can also manifest wickedness. You can also manifest heartbreak. You can also manifest problems. But that's not a form of manifestation that they teach about, they tell you about. Yeah, you can manifest whole problems and situations. It's not always you just manifesting everything good that happens underneath the sun. So you need to understand that, one, in order to manifest, that's the creator energy within you. So you need to acknowledge the fact that you are of the essence of the creator or the creators. That is all connected into one. Okay. And so because of that, I want you to get your journal out. For those of you who are trying to get a certain profit in your business or get the ideas, you need to manifest that. You need to speak that over yourself and affirm that every single day. So in the morning time, when you get up, you wake up, the first thing you need to be saying on your mind is thank you to the spirit for already allowing my business plans to come into fruition. Thank you, God, the universe, whoever it is that you speak to, whatever name you call it. Thank you for already sending the people that I need to do what it is that I need to be done. We need to change the energy of our prayers and our requests, right? All this begging and pleading, you're saying it as if you don't know that the spirit will do it. Do you know or do you not know? Manifest it. That's the first thing that the spirit wants you to know. Okay? Now, as it relates to the work you need to do with yourself, what is the inner work that you need to do? You have movement. Yeah, you know, the serpent gets a bad rap because of biblical text, but I want you to understand how the serpent moves. Okay? Snakes can sliver and quiver through almost anything. Small holes, small rocks. I know that you've seen a snake in your house, big, small, or indifferent, or otherwise. You're like, how did you get here? Right. So, you don't even know how the snake got here, but it did. Peep the message. How did this thing get here? You don't need to know how, but you just need to know that it did. And that is what we have to understand when we're trying to move forward into the things that we're manifesting over here. We're trying to move forward. We need to understand there's some people that are going to be like, oh my God, they thought you didn't deserve to be there. They didn't think you was going to make it over there. But guess what? You did it. So I want you, and the spirit wants you, to tap into your fantastic flexibility. Okay? Adapt to your situations and move around. That's the internal work you need to do. Keep moving. Keep moving. You know, I find that in different parts of, I was just talking to my god sister about this. In different parts of spirituality, sometimes we get stuck in different elements of it. It's amazing to reflect, but you need to set a deadline for your reflection. If you're going to reflect on the stuff for an hour. Research and ask why for an hour, for 30 minutes. Do not sit in questioning why for the rest of your day. Okay? Movement. What is it that you can do internally that's allowing you to move forward? You need to shift some things within yourself. This could also come with practices, okay? With habits. What are some habits? Some of y'all know dietary. The spirit has been heavy on dietary. I don't know what's going on in the atmosphere, but diets. You need to become flexible in the way that you are taking care of yourself and move around some things, okay? You need to adapt. Some of us also, y'all are stubborn, okay? Stubborn. You want the way you've been. What's wrong with the way I've been doing, honey? You're not flexible because energy changes, things change, and you have to learn to adapt with it and move around. If you could see in the center of the serpent, there's an egg there, right? That's also movement. You hear? That's movement. That's growth. Once that egg hatches, whatever it is that's in there, that has to move forward. Even a baby can't stay as a baby. The baby has to grow, has to move forward. It's movement. So within yourself, ask yourself the question, in what ways am I moving? Am I moving? Are you moving? What adjustments can you make internally to help you eternally? Watch out. Some of us are beautiful on the outside, but ugly on the inside because we ain't shifted our thoughts around. We haven't become flexible in our thinking. We're not open-minded. We're not open-spirited. We're going to do stuff the way we always been doing it, and we're not open to change. So on the inside, something has to move. Okay? We have built bus stops Excuse me. We have built houses at bus stops. Why are you building a house at a bus stop? Are you only going to be there for a moment till the bus comes? Move around. Move around. Let's move forward. We're going to move forward into what is the work that you need to do in the world. So this is related to purpose. Let's go ahead and see here. Compassion. Wow. Compassion. So if you've been operating in a judgmental spirit, hello. If you've been operating in a critical spirit, no longer. No longer can you do that. You are no longer permitted to sit around here and act in a judgmental spirit. You are no longer permitted to do that because your purpose has to do with compassion. Having compassion for people. Teaching other people to have compassion for people. But I'm going to tell you this. How can you show compassion? Because some of y'all have had some very ugly things that you've done in the past or recently. And if somebody were to find out about it, honey, you'd be canceled, cut off, set aside, moved to the left. We need to understand compassion because that's a part of your work. But guess what? You need to be compassionate within your own self. Within your own self. For yourself. Some of us are, we don't need no bullies. We don't need to be abused because we abuse ourselves. We don't need somebody to come along and do that because we do it to our own self. We show ourselves no compassion, no understanding. Okay? And that is the work that you need to do in the world. What you do to other people is a reflection of yourself. So externally, if you are judgmental, you best believe internally, you're really taking yourself through. That's why you cannot sit up here and be mad at people who do you wrong and treat you mean. Because they're doing it to you, they're definitely doing it to themselves. Compassion. How can you be more compassionate in dealing with people? Yeah, if you thought about a situation where you've been judging somebody or being harsh with somebody, understand that there's work that you're supposed to do that you ain't doing, and you know you're supposed to do it. Now, show compassion. Breathe a little. Okay? This last card here is for relationships. Relationships don't just have to be romantic, it can be platonic. But the relationship that comes up is the relationship that this is referring to. Okay, so what is it that you need to know in regard to your relationships? Connect to the heart. So there's a lot of us that have some real trust issues based upon issues when it comes to love. Whether it's love that you were supposed to get, love you didn't get, love you thought you was owed and didn't receive. You need to connect to your heart space. Love concretizes. Love does not condemn. Okay? Love corrects and completes. Okay? There is some incomplete conversation that you've had. You rather haven't had. Y'all need to complete some of these conversations with family members. Hello. Some of y'all have just sat up here and decided that this is all it's gonna be, and I ain't changing it. And that's unnecessary. It does no good. Helps no one. And I do mean no one. Helps absolutely no one. For you to remain stuck, still, and have heart in your heart. Work with your heart chakra. Some of y'all need to work with your heart chakra. Interestingly enough, the color of the heart chakra is green. That's growth. That's health. Healthy living. Healthy loving. Connect to your heart. Did you ever sit, instead of sitting up here trying to figure out what they want, ask your heart, hello heart, what is it that I need? What do you need, heart? Ask your heart that. Your heart space, your love, what do you need? Do you know how to love? Whoa. If you don't know how to love, I'm going to tell you how to love. Everybody in this life has experienced love in one form or another. If you don't know how to love yourself, start by treating yourself in the loving ways that you have experienced other people treating you. Or a lot of people don't know how to love themselves, but they know how to love other people. And if you know how to love other people, how about you give to other people the love that you've been giving? How about you give to yourself the same love you've been giving to other people? If you have been ever present for people, showing up in the nick of time, following through with your commitments, protecting them, making sure that they're okay and that they're taken care of, well, that's how you love yourself. You show love to yourself in the way that you show love to others. And if you don't like to be loved how you love, well, maybe you need to do some work. You need to change some things. Maybe the people don't like how you are loving them either. All right. Hello, my second image people. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and begin. As I told the people, we start off with a message from the universe, a message from the spirit, honey. We move forth into the message for the internal work that you need to do. Okay. Then we step into the work that you're going to do in the world. What is that you can do to help and follow through with your purpose in the world? And lastly, what is it that you need to know in regards to your relationships? But honey, I'm gonna move this thing. This thing here is trying to choke. It's trying to choke me out. Wait a minute. I'm put it right here. Ooh. So y'all can catch some of the wind. I'm not finna catch it all. Okay, I'm not finna catch it all. Ooh, child. The incense is going off today. That means y'all must be acting a fool. Y'all really need to hear that. In fact, I'm gonna switch it over here. Here we go. Yes. Here we go. All right. So the first thing I want you all to do is take a deep breath in, breathe out. Good. And we're getting ready to receive the message that the Spirit has. Come forth to this with open minds, open heart, and be willing to look at your... I know the phone didn't... Hold on, y'all. All right, here we go. Let's start off with the message from the universe. Here we go. Ascension. Ascension. Okay. Now, let's talk about ascension. So there is this ongoing thing, a statement that talks about staying woke. The Spirit is coming forth telling you that it's no longer enough to stay woke. It's no longer enough to just be aware, okay? A lot of us wake up in the morning, but just you waking up has nothing to do with your progress. A lot of us have become aware, but we haven't done anything about it. It's good that you're awake, but now it's time for you to get up. How you gonna get up? The Spirit wants you to focus on getting up. Also, if you're not getting up, the Spirit wants you to think about what's weighing you down. What's preventing your ascension? What's preventing you? Who's preventing you? And you can't sit up here and blame other people all the time, because guess what? Those are the friends that you chose. Okay? Who and what is preventing your ascension, and what is it that you can do to get that out the way so you can go ahead and step forward into the power that you know you should be at? The Spirit said it's time for an upgrade. It's time for a level up. If you started on your spiritual journey, you say, you know what? It's good. I've been doing my meditation for 10 minutes every day. The Spirit said, okay, time to move up. You need to be going 20 minutes. You need to be ascending. We need to be getting higher and higher. Ascension is different from descension. Descending is being at a high point and coming down. Ooh, come on with the focus. Wait, high point, coming down. Okay? Ascension is being at a low point and moving up. That's ascension. Okay? How can you take it to the next level? Some of y'all with your businesses, some of you may be creating content, writing, doing work. How can you take it to the next level? How can you ascend, move forward, elevate yourself? Elevate is actually, well, I won't tell you that. That's a spoiler. Elevate yourself. The Spirit wants you to elevate yourself. You've been plateaued for too long. It's time for us to move forward, lift up, get further in your spiritual practices. Okay? Ascension. And for those of you who have been changing up, this is a confirmation from the Spirit that says, oh, level up, level up. Upgrades are coming for some of us. But that is controlled by whether or not you are doing what you need to, whether or not you are staying consistent so that you can level up. Focusing on ascension. Focus on ascension. Next level. And if there's people that you connected to, I see some of y'all got some people you talk to daily that's not trying to level themselves up. That's trying to just be okay with what it is that they have right now. That's not your testimony. That's not your calling. That's definitely not your ministry. Ascend. Period. Here we go. Let's move forward. Now we're going to step into what is it that you need to know in regards to the work you need to do within yourself. Okay, here we go. Higher perspective. Look at that. Now I want you to see what the Spirit just did there. The overall message from the Spirit is right here, which is ascension. That's going from a low place to a higher place. Now the message that the Spirit sent for the internal work is a higher perspective. You need to change your visual position. From the ground, you cannot see the top of the mountain. And even from the ground, even though you can estimate how high the mountain is up, you won't know the feeling until you get there. You can see how high the mountain is from the ground, but guess what? It is not until you change your perspective that you can see how low the ground is from the top of the mountain. Watch out. Higher perspectives allows you to see more. Change your perspective. The way you looking at stuff is from a low point. And that is both literally and figuratively. From a low point. You always looking at stuff negatively. Low vibrational energy. You trying to get back at people. You believe everybody did you wrong. You believe that the devil is on your back every chance he get. When in reality, you find out that it was working out for your good. So at what point was it the devil? Change your perspective. Change your perspective. 2020 was probably one of the worst years for a lot of people. But 2020 is the year of vision. Now we in 2021. What you did after you had the vision? What are you doing with the vision? Shift your perspective on the situation. Take it up higher. Ascend. Ascend your perspective as well. Raise it up. Take it to the next level. You've been looking at stuff the same way and wondering why stuff ain't changed. You ain't got no information because you looking at it the same way you've been looking at it. In fact, some of y'all looking at the same way you were taught and told to look at it. Well, and you wasn't told by God. You was told by mankind. That's who told you. And that's out of order. Higher perspective. Higher perspective. Let's move forward here. Now, this is really relative to the work that you need to do in regards to the world. Okay? This is the work in the world. This has to do with purpose and destiny and a part of it. Because some of y'all come to the spiritual readings, honey, y'all want to know everything you're going to do for the rest of the time and what your divine purpose is. How about the fact that, it never stops? How about that? You're never going to get a final answer because there's a new purpose for you every day. And it's new to you. Old to spirit, but new to you. That's why we live day by day. We don't live our life in years and decades. It's day by day. Because what your purpose is right now for this particular moment may not be your purpose for the next, or 5 years, or 10, or 20. Here we go. What is the work you need to do internally? Get curious. Now look at the connection. The Spirit said you need to ascend. Okay? The internal work right here, this is a higher perspective. You need to look higher because the work you need to do in the world has to do with asking the questions. Some of y'all need to challenge the status quo. Get curious, explore. Ask the questions that people don't want to ask. Get curious. If you are not curious, you might as well be dead. Because when you die, that's when you're going to learn all you could possibly learn. Okay? Get curious. You need to spark curiosity in the world. You need to spark the question asking. Some of y'all have a lot of projects that you want to do that you find to be controversial. Okay, too bad. I don't care that it's controversial. I don't care that people may think of you some type of way. Too bad. It causes them to ask questions. Questions are very powerful. In a world based on facts, people think the facts, that's all that matters. As I said earlier in the argument about Kevin Samuels, honey, the facts only tell you what happened. It does not tell you why. Get curious. Ask why. If you've been following a certain belief system, a certain pattern, ask it why. Ask the leaders why. At your job, why are we doing this? Ask why. It changes some things because you want to know, people don't even consider the origins of things. People just do. That is an imbalance of divine feminine, divine masculine energy. Divine feminine is the wisdom, and the wisdom asks the question because the question gets people clear about what they need to do based upon their intention. That is wisdom. Your role in the world, at least at this current time, is to promote curiosity. In what ways can you do that? In what ways can you have people thinking differently? Promote that curiosity. Let's move forward. What is that you need to know in regard to your relationships? Here we go. Relationships have to do with the heart chakra. Oh, power. 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 Now let's get into this whole thing of power. Power is a crazy thing. Some people get obsessed with power. Some people need power because they've been powerless their whole lives. So the moment they get power, they abuse the power because they've never had it. Some of y'all don't want to accept the fact that, well, you may not be as good at this particular thing as other people. There's people that can do stuff much better than you. Okay, but that don't have nothing to do with it. That don't have nothing to do with it. Stop trying to have ego trips with people. And also, some of y'all, the Spirit just told me, need to take your power back from relationships. Some of y'all have surrendered every little bit of power that you had. You have given it all up and given it all away. And the Spirit needs you to get your power back. Spirit needs you to get your power back so that you can go ahead and become who it is you need to be and what it is that you need to do. Get your power back. Why did you give your power away? That's the question. You gave your power away because you don't really know who it is that you are. That's the only reason. Hello. Get your power back. But when you do not become obsessed with it. Because then, by becoming obsessed with the power that you've never had, you become the person or the oppressor that got you that way in the first place. Okay? How can you take your power back? Because guess what? Taking your power back is what's going to help you ascend and move yourself in alignment with the Spirit. Okay? Change your perspective. Get curious. Take the power back. Check the power. Check the power. Interestingly enough, with checking the power too, peep this. Where is your power coming from? Do you and the person that you thought about, that we talking about in this relationship, where is the source of y'all's power? Where's the energy coming from? What is the relationship plugged into? Because I'm gonna tell you what, some of the people y'all are in relationships with, honey, the power source is weak. It's weak. Don't got no strength in it. And that's why the stuff isn't working out. So all things concerning power, check the person, check yourself, check the situation, and check the source. All right, y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all better tune in for y'all weekly reading. Okay, I'm moving on to the next group. Right, now we're on to my third group. Hey, third group. Hey. Here we go. Let's go ahead and hop into this. So, as a reminder, this particular pick a card reading is broken up into 4 different things. We have the message from the universe. Okay? We have the message for self. Okay? We have the message for the work that you need to do in the world. And then we have a message for relationships of all kind. Okay? Relationships of all kind. Tap into your divine knowing and your intuition to see with what relationship that we talking about. And oftentimes the first one that come to your mind is the one. Let's go ahead and begin with the message from the universe. Ooh, trust. Trust. This is a heavy one. The spirit wants you to learn how to trust, boo. You need to trust that the spirit is going to do what the spirit said that it would do. Okay? A lot of y'all trust issues stem from different people with different sets of motives that didn't have nothing to do with you. Okay? How is it that you can develop trust within yourself? Why do you not trust? Who don't you trust? I'll tell you what. Trust with self is always at the root. I tell you the reason why we don't trust ourselves is because we lie all the time. Our body feels offended and we know that we're offended by something, yet we say something different than how we feel. We deceive our own self. And so you can't trust yourself because there is a discrepancy between what it is that you feel and what it is that you say. There's a discrepancy. And for whatever reason, and your brain is sitting up there like, now I know I just got punched. I'm very clear that I just got punched here. So, but they sitting up here acting like I didn't get punched. So I guess I didn't get punched. Now your receptors is all off. Then you start mistrusting. You start trusting people and things that you don't need to trust. Ooh. Because you start mistrusting. Hello. Your trust becomes faulty. Because you have, by not telling the truth, imparted an incorrect or corrupt system of measuring what you can and cannot put your faith in. The spirit wants you to trust. The universe needs for you to trust. Also, you need to trust that people gonna do what they gonna do. If somebody always does something, you need to trust that that's what they're gonna do. You need to trust for them to be the person that they are. Trust that. Some of us be lying even in that. We lie about what it is that we know. How can you become more trusting? Focus on that. Develop trust. The trust fall exercise. Y'all need to do that in y'all friendships, in y'all relationships. Develop trust. But before you start trying to trust people, you need to trust yourself. Because the reason why you ended up in that bad relationship, friendship, or job is because you didn't listen to that inner voice that told you, nah, that ain't it. The spirit wants you to focus on trust. This is the initial and overall message from the spirit. Trust. So let's go ahead and move forward into what it is that you need to know in regards to your internal work. What is it you need to know? We have sacred sexuality here. Some of us have a lot of problems when it comes to our sexuality. And by sexuality, I'm not sitting up here talking about sexual orientation. But you need to ask your sexual self, why is it that you are sexually attracted to the things that you're attracted to? Excuse me. Why is it that you do the things that you do? It's not that it's always wrong, but you need to get clear about it. Some of us have sexual addictions, and we need to get clear about that energy. Where does that come from? Maybe we need to get in counseling. If you cannot go some time without thinking about sex, having sex, and that is interrupting your day, and you can't complete things because you just have to do it, there's problems there. We need to be clear about our sexual addictions. Not only that, we have sexual trauma here. That is some internal work we need to do with sexual trauma. A lot of us, especially those who are male sex and are male identified as gender is related. A lot of us who have dealt with sexual assault, harassment, sexual battery don't feel comfortable having that conversation because we are told that can't happen to us. Okay? But it's not the truth. Sexual traumas cause great issues when it comes to relationships and things of that nature. But guess what? Just not relationships with other people, relationships with yourself. It causes a direct infliction on vulnerability. So we need to work on and figure out internally, what is it that I need to do? What can help me as it pertains to my sacred sexuality? Now I want to put an emphasis on something while this dog is in the background barking, child. Ooh, child. The ghetto. Okay, here we go. Your sexuality is sacred, which means that you don't need to be letting anybody, all types of people be involved in your sex because it is sacred. I'm sorry that they have taught a lot of the men that, there's no value to their sexual organs and what it is that they do sexually, but there is. And they have tried to put this pressure in order to control women to say that they need to be a certain way sexually. But in essence, everybody should be cognizant of the people and the activities that they engage with sexually because it is sacred. It is sacred. Okay? Make sure that what you do honors you. Here we go. Oh my Lord, y'all hear that dog trying to go off and interrupt my feed? Listen, now we're going to go into the work that you need to do within the world. Honey, you see this? Here we go. Let's step into the work we need to do in the world. Release. A lot of the work that you all are destined to do, especially even in this time, is be a demonstration to people of letting go. Trusting that. Now, because you think that sometimes we don't want to let go of stuff that people have done because we think that we are the divine and we're the most high and we need to give them a punishment because we say what they need. That's not how that works, boo. Baby, that's not how that works. Okay? You in the world are supposed to be a freedom for people. And not because you have So not like you run around breaking people out of jail, honey. If that's your business, that's your business, that's your mission, that's your mission. But listen, people should just be able to look at the way that you are living and just break free. That's a part of your divine gift. People should just be able to look at the way that you are living and the freedom and the release that you walk out and around the world with and break free. Just by being in a witness to your freedom. So how is what you are doing in the world allowing people to be released and free? How? That's the work that you need to do. That's the work you're doing in the world. And you want to know? By telling the truth. That's how you really do that. Tell the truth. When they say the truth will set you free, they ain't lie. It may be cliche, but truth is cliche. Because it's been true forever. Okay? Released. Let's move forward here. In relationships, this is the work that you need to do in regards to your relationships. Now, mind you, relationships could be intimate relationships, could be family relationships, could be work relationships. What is it that you need to know? Ooh, honey, we have the outlaw. Yes, okay. Now we have the outlaw. Now the energy of this is very much like on the run. It's very much the bandit. It's very much I do what I want to do. I'm free from constrictions. I'm free from confinement. This is on the run. So a lot of us are involved in work relationships, friendships that are very restrictive. And you are not allowed to fully be who it is that you need to be and how you need to be. That's also with your family. Some of y'all within these families, y'all ain't telling the whole truth. Y'all not living your life like it's golden. Y'all not really stepping forward and being who it is that you are independently out of fear of other people. The outlaw said, you've been too worried about the way people been, what people might say. Oh my God, yeah. They might say this about me and I won't be able to. Stop it. You need to be the outlaw. You need to be an outlaw. Independence is required for this individual. That also means that that situation, that relationship you tied down to that you know is trash, you need to go ahead and break free from that. Hello, release. Maybe this is the example that we talking about in the world. Hello, freedom. You see how the spirit did that? But in order to break free, you need to trust. Ooh, you need to trust and be vulnerable so you can release, honey. Also with this outlaw energy, there are those of us who chose this, and y'all are loners. Okay? A lot of y'all be like, oh my God, they don't understand me. They not gonna get it. They not gonna. Okay, well, look. They not gonna understand you because you haven't made yourself where you could be understood. You ain't trusted enough to open up and make yourself to be understood. You just started off with this belief about yourself, about the way things be. You have an automatic negative thought that says this is all it is. It's never going to be. They're never going to get it. And guess what? They don't. So you end up proving and making your trauma thought true. You are a free being. And you should not ever feel confined or restricted. But understand, confinement and restriction has nothing to do with consistency and diligence. And it doesn't have nothing to do with consistency and diligence. Some of y'all want to be an outlaw when it comes to stuff that you need to do. Go ahead and inconsistently pay your rent. Go ahead and do it if you want to do it and see how that fares out. It doesn't fare out well. So go forth in your relationships with your family, with your friends, and see in what ways have you either been restricting yourself completely, or in what ways have you been acting like you don't have nobody when that's not the truth. You can develop your independence without being alone. Okay? Much love to you, group 3. Okay, I want y'all to go ahead and soak all this stuff in, take a screenshot, so you can see what it is that was said today for your memory's sake, and start to employ this into your life circumstances, situations, okay? Y'all better be on here, because when y'all, guess what? Because come on Sunday, that's tomorrow. On Sunday, we have our weekly reading. This is not just a weekly reading. This is something you need to apply in your life, in this period of your life. All right? I love you from a light-filled place. Bye.